Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Bleach 1000 Year Blood War episode 15. So, we are continuing on with the second episode of this, of coming back. We had like a little visual that seemed like a lot of lives were given up in the creation of, the Quincy King, which is interesting. I'm looking forward. I imagine we're gonna learn more about that, unless that's all we get, but I mean, the visuals seem pretty clear that it looked like a bunch of lives were given, but I'm curious whether or not they were, I talked about it in the discussion in the last episode, of whether they were just normal humans that were given up in order to make the Quincy King, and then the Quincy King, had children, and eventually they became the race of the Quincy, or were there Quincy's around before the king existed, and a bunch of Quincy's sacrificed themselves in order to make one very powerful Quincy, kind of thing, is what I'm thinking. But either way, Uryu was named successor, which is interesting. I wonder how that's gonna work with like, obviously he passed some power down through blood. Is it just, now it's just like, okay, in name, you're that. Also, something I forgot to talk about in the discussion of last episode was, amongst those Quincy's there, they called one of them like Emperor or something like that, I believe. So I wonder if there's a faction within there that more believe that that blonde guy they called Emperor should be leader, even over the Quincy King himself. I'm not sure where their loyalties lie, or if Emperor is just some kind of nickname, or what, but yeah, Basby, very not happy about the successor, Uryu being named that. But, and now on Ichigo's side of things, he's training to surpass a Soul Reaper, whatever that means, and it's possible that he could become too powerful to return to Earth. So, we had, what was his name? Crap. I struggled with the name last episode, too. Either way, I don't want to waste too much more time. I want to get started here. But the new head captain came down, Shinsui, right? Something like that. Came down and told his friends too, which was very respectable of him, because if it doesn't happen, then it was just like a gesture that he didn't have to do. But if it does end up happening, then at least they were warned, and they're not going to get angry and be like, how could no one tell us it could happen? So anyway, sorry for the long-winded intro. And also, we have talked about the last 9 days, so scary. Alright, let's start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I do have a coffee here I'm going to be sipping on because I had one hell of a day. This is the guy they called Emperor, right? I think. Which they have. That's cool. Peace from shadows. So basically, the reason why they're doing their assault so quickly is to just crush their hopes. Alright. Yeah, man. God. It's been a crazy few weeks, guys. I guess for those of you who maybe didn't hear me talking about it in my other shows I do, to try to sum it up as quickly as possible, our well tank popped a hole in it, so we had to replace it, caused a bunch of flooding and everything, and then we replaced it, and we're still having pressure issues. The pressure keeps going too high, triggering the relief valve, which, in hindsight, we thought the old tank just got old because they have like a life expectancy of like 15 years, and we've had it for 17 years. So we thought, oh, it's just old. But now what I'm thinking is, I think some of the gauges and the relief valves and stuff like that weren't working properly, and the pressure issue we're having right now happened to the old tank, except it didn't have the setup that it's supposed to have to expel water if the pressure gets too high. And I think it blew that tank because of that. But but we, our family got together and talked about it, and we think it was the pressure switch, which we just replaced tonight. And since I guess it's been about 4 or 5 hours now, we've been good. But all day today and yesterday, like starting from last night when it went off again, we've been dealing with water issues, and it has not been fun. Dealing with like not having water, having to turn it on for like a few minutes to shower and then turn it back off. Oh, oh, Ukitake. He doesn't seem too scared. Hmm. Oh, this guy. I'm also praying the water doesn't break while I'm recording this, because that would suck. Now that they know that, if they survive this attack, could they somehow expel them? Hey, I got it right. Maybe the pronunciation was a little bad, but my memory is so bad for some of these names. Oh, told him about it. Oh, is it, uh, Kurotsuchi? Yada yada. Oh my god. Jeez. So his outfit gives off light. So that way when he's walking around his office, that doesn't create a shadow, right? Because it's giving off light, I suppose. Bez B. One of the few names I remember because it's easy to remember. Alright, Toshiro. How strong has he become without his Bankai? Oh, ice versus fire. This guy. I hate this guy. He's like, sometimes sort of brave, but other times not so much. I don't know what to think of this guy. Alright, dude. Alright. Some fights are about to begin. Sorry guys, my dog is in the corner of my room sleeping and snoring, so if you hear, or if you had been hearing weird noises, that's what it probably is. Sometimes when I have these headphones on, they're a little bit noise canceling, and then I have the show going, I don't hear it as well, but I definitely just heard that one, and sometimes the mic will pick it up more than my headphones, or more than I'll hear it, because of the headphones. Ooh. Her face looks a little bit more like... Obviously right there is purposefully... Okay, that's a bit better. When her face was more like... When we first saw her talking to him, it looked a little, like, more chibi-ish, I should say. I don't know. Like, I felt like she looked a lot more mature in the old series. Cool. Hmm. Damn. Did it do damage? Or is he gonna brush it off? I never know with anime. They're celebrating too early, I feel. Oh, they got a barrier. Child's play. Well. Well, some of the other guys seem to be doing good, but this guy is... I was hoping he'd step up and be able to do something, but it seems like he's just buying time for Soifon to get here. He blocked it, didn't he? Yep. It may not be the... Oh my god, this guy has a minigun arm. Did we see that before? Oh! Oh my god, she caught them all. And broke his gun. And went all the way back up there. Is she already using her Shunko or whatever? Is that what it's called? Ah! Sometimes I have a brain, guys. I like how it almost looks like the butterfly wings of her, like, when her Zanpakuto was manifested, right? It had like little, like, it looked like a little bee or whatever kind of thing, right? And it kind of looked like she had the wings, sort of thing. Oh, is this guy a brainy boy? Talking about all these, like, calculated scenarios and how many it would take to defeat them. Ah. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I have a feeling Baz B is getting back up. I imagine they have, like, another form, right? Yeah. He's not even wounded, really. Probably blocked it with his... whatever that tough skin bullshit is. Yep. Narrow his fire down to a single point rather than spreading it. Can he still make little Ice Mirage clones? Maybe that's what got hit? Whoa. That was cool. Sorry, they can still use the Bankais. Go figure, the guy that has missiles and a minigun, oh shit, also has her gigantic missile Bankai. That's super not good. All he has to do is kill her. Oh, so he did get hit. It wasn't like any kind of clone or something. He froze the wound shut. Heineko. Or is it just his ice? Oh. Alright. Yeah. At least they didn't debate us for too long again. That would have been redundant, just having him like, oh, is he dead? And then come back later to him being like, that's not enough to get me. Well... Oh! I was wondering what that was. Ooh. Fucking Urahara. Wait! No! It's already over! Well... things are not looking good. I feel like our captains have taken a lot of damage, yet the enemies have barely showed their stuff, I feel like. It was cool, Hitsugaya, coming in, like, he looked pretty cool and he seemed pretty confident, but it really sucks seeing him getting so schooled. Like, I kind of wanted the captains to gain, like, I know it hasn't been a very long time either, so that's kind of why it happened, right? Is they were training to try to be able to do good without their Bankai, but It's always a bummer when characters like have to have that failsafe, like they're not strong without it. I love when a character can like lose their power and they're still like a badass without it kind of thing. Um but yeah. But I guess I mean it does make sense that, actually I should probably wait till after we get more. Is it hard for him to move in this area? It feels like he's not really lifting his feet as much. Like, it almost looked like he was sliding his feet against the floor as if it's, like, hard for him to move in here. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. Did it just get farther away? Hmm. Okay, now we're gonna get the little poem thing. Jeez. Creepy. Alright. That is it, guys, for episode 15. Yeah. Also, I just realized that they're calling it, like, 15, too, which is nice. Like, in the episode, it said, 15, because I'm always, like, really confused. Like, so many people seem to be wording it differently. Like, they're counting this as, like, season 2. This other one's counting it as season, like, 17 or 18 or something like that. And so there's like other people are adding it on to the previous series, so it'd be like 380 something, I think, or something like that. But yeah, so damn, that was a so I'm always like hesitant with the pacing in the episodes. This one I feel like wasn't too bad because see, last episode I really liked the pacing up until the end where it was like, we're invading again, And it's like I just want it to take a little like, I don't know, I want them to take their time with it, but it seems like it's like, I don't know. It seems like it's just like, oh, invasion, oh, here's like an episode in between the invasion for you to like chill out and then invasion again. But either way, it just feels like everything's moving a mile a minute, right? In the first 14 episodes or the first 13 episodes, and then last episode was pretty good. Like I said, up until the ending, I felt like the pacing was really good, and then it's like it felt like it was going to go fast paced again. But this episode, it wasn't too bad. Like I mean, granted, we have them invade. We have a lot of the fights like part of the way through, although Kurotsuchi hasn't even started his yet, and stuff like that. But we have a couple of the fights part of the way through, but now we have this bit at the end where Urahara can get their Bankais back, assumedly. So I wonder if that'll be something they can. Like, can they get it to the guys fighting in the field? Can they get it to Soifon? Can they get it to can they get it to Toshiro and everything? Or are we kind of stuck with like, oh, try to just survive this assault if possible, and then you can get it back after kind of thing? I imagine it's going to help them in the fight, and we're going to see what's going to happen is we're going to see like Toshiro get his back however it happens, and then maybe like make quick work of Basby. Also, if the ones who stole the Bankais are supposed to be going after the ones who they stole it from, did Baz B steal Toshiro's Bankai? I don't think it was Baz B. I can't remember. It was last season, right? I I can't remember who it was that stole Toshiro's, but I don't feel like it was Bazz-B. But anyway, I as much as I don't like the Quincy's, I like what the one guy had to say, the Emperor Aide or whatever they called him. Um, he mentioned like, oh, this keto that you made that can block out Quincy powers and stuff like that. Like, it's great and all that you made this. It's really effective, or or at least it seems effective so far. I don't know if he's gonna swing his weapon and break it instantly or something. It's very possible, but I just like what he had to say of being like, oh, you should have refined it and made it a little bit easier to use and taught it to all the captains, because then they might have had a fighting chance, kind of thing. And it is true, like with having an ability like that, it would be nice for other people to have it rather than just her. Because now it's a matter of, okay, cool, you developed this new technique, and now if this Emperor guy kills you, then no one knows that technique. Someone else is going to have to develop it again and teach it to people, kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyway. But they kind of explained their little subdimension they have, so they created it in the shadow of the Serite, like the last place that the Soul Reapers would look, kind of thing. It's pretty clever. Kurotsuchi didn't seem very impressed, but he would never admit that he's impressed by someone else's shit, I feel like. But Kurotsuchi's solution to just have no shadows, so they can't get into his so that way no one can get into his place, is just wild. But I wonder, like, now that they have all of this information confirmed, I wonder if there's anything they can do. Now, slight spoiler from the manga, I'm pretty sure we go there to fight. I could be wrong, but so I'm sure any of this that I'm about to talk about isn't gonna come to pass anyway. But I was just curious if there was a way to like expel their dimension from the shadows, right? Like, now that it's there, is it just there? Like, if they somehow managed to do Kurotsuchi's move where they got rid of all the shadows all over the Serite permanently, kind of thing, could they make it so that that they could just never leave that dimension? But they also pop in and out of that dimension onto like Earth and stuff, right? So could they just port somewhere else and then come back out? I don't know. I was just trying to think of like ways that, because obviously this is gonna boil down to a fight no matter how we have it, but I was just trying to think of like weird gimmicks to like get out of it, right? Like, could we just lighten everything up, make it so there's no shadows, and then those Quincy's are just stuck there for eternity. Haha, have fun, kind of thing. But obviously it's not going to end that way, because that would be boring and it wouldn't be a TV show otherwise. So, but yeah, Bazz-B powers pretty cool. I always like fire. I always like when you can take fire. It reminds me a little bit of like Bakugo with his explosions in My Hero Academia, where he's able to kind of fine tune his explosions and do like little explosion blasts, like, and like create a funnel that he shoots it out of to narrow the blast and make it stronger, kind of thing. I'm always a fan of that. So seeing him do like, his finger thing where he just creates like a laser beam of fire was pretty neat. And then Two Fingers was like a slashing move, and it created like two slashes that went down. Pretty cool. Some of the other powers are a bit like wild for my taste, but I mean, Bleach powers have always been a bit wild. If you look at some of like the Bankais and stuff like that, some of them are just ridiculous anyway. So it's not, I'm not gonna say it's not in the taste of Bleach's, design kind of thing, but like the minigun guy with like missiles coming out of his body and everything, and then like whatever that weird like metal pole thing that bends and all that, it's like some wacky ass shit, man. And that's another thing, like, I feel like Soifone should be the one that can handle herself the best because one, she has Shinko, and two, like, don't get me wrong, her Bankai just being a giant missile can be strong in certain situations, but like, it's a really weird Bankai if you think about it, because like a lot of the other characters' Bankais aren't just like a one hit and done. Like Toshiro gets like ice, like insane ice powers. He even said this episode that with his Bankai he can control a lot more ice, kind of thing. And he can do it for the full duration, however long basically the markers are behind him, and he trains to increase that duration and stuff like that. Yet Soifon just gets a missile that she can fire once. If she misses, she's just done, kind of thing. Um, so I don't know. Like even if she gets her Bankai back, like I feel like a lot of what she's gonna be able to do is still gonna come down to just her and Shunko. But maybe I'm wrong. Uh, like the other times we've seen her use that is like they lock someone in like a giant barrier and then create a little opening that she fires it in. And I feel like that's the only time we've seen it be like sort of effective, and then I don't even think it was effective in that instance. I don't even think it worked. I think they just tanked it. But but yeah, so I've never been a big fan of hers. Like she's this badass assassin chick, and then she just has like a giant missile, right? Like I don't know. I mean, I guess that's her cross to bear, right? Like you don't. I don't think you get to choose. This isn't like Hunter x Hunter where you take your Nen category and then you create the power that fits you the best. It seems like whatever your sword has like generated as a Zanpakuto has a Bankai state, and you just have to learn how to use it and wield it. I don't think it's anything that can be morphed by your personality, kind of thing. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some kind of aspect to her personality that has morphed this Bankai into the way it is. Like maybe she does just have some kind of, like, if you want to get like poetic about it, some like kind of explosive, like one hit wonder kind of personality, sort of thing. Just like ultimate strength in a single strike. I guess her is it? Well, shit. Hold on. She is the one with the missile, right? Because I was also just remembering she has that thing that she can, like, poke you, right? And if she pokes you in the same spot, you just die? Is that just her Shikai? Or is that also her is that also a part of her Bankai? If that's her Shikai, why isn't she using it right now? Because she should be able to use her Shikai, right? She just can't use her Bankai? Huh. I completely forgot about the little pokey in the same spot and you die thingy. Maybe she has been using it? In this episode, do we see it on her finger? Or is she just testing his strength or something, finding his openings and everything? Maybe if I go to the shot of her on the roof? Yeah, that's probably, like... That just actually really confused me of why she's not using that. Yeah, she doesn't have it on her fingers. It looks like she's just using Shinko. And even towards the end, I don't see it in her hand and stuff like that. So, really, I mean, as long as I'm not wrong and it's not part of her Bankai, then it's very possible that she has a whole nother level she's gonna kick into as soon as she pulls out, what's it called, like Suzumebachi, I think, or something like that. I think that might be what it's called. But yeah. Anyway. Yep, that's just me being, I remembered Shunko somehow, yet I guess the fact is I'm pretty confident that that's her Shikai. So I'm just very confused about why she's not using it, I guess. And it's making me lose confidence in the fact that it's her Shikai because she's not using it. But, you know, maybe she figured she'd start the fight with Shinko, try to learn what this guy is capable of, try to learn his openings and his attack patterns, and then she pulls out the Shikai and, you know, can find those openings to get the two little pokies in, kind of thing. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, completely forgot about that part. I really did. Of her power. That is, see, that makes up her Shikai seems a lot more useful than her Bankai, and that's where, like, you know, maybe that's also part of the power balancing of her too, is like, well, she also had Shunko, a really powerful, like, all-purpose Bankai, and the little pokey thing that she does, then that would be really crazy, and she would be insanely powerful. So we're gonna power scale her by just giving her a bomb as her ultimate move, kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. So we kind of have the staging ground for this little invasion. The goal is to crush their hope. The king figured that they were gonna try to figure out ways to fight without their Bankai, and I guess maybe it's not going to go as a plan. Maybe that's how they retreat back, right? Because, you know, like I've already said it once this episode, so I'm not going to shy away from saying it again. I'm pretty sure our characters go to the Wandenreich eventually for the final battle. So I'm pretty sure we push them back from here. So maybe Urahara shows up, they get their Bankais back, they push back, the king orders them to retreat back, and then our characters start prepping to take the attack to them before they show up and steal Bankais again, kind of thing. And I'm sure Urahara isn't just going to get their Bankais back. I'm sure he's going to find a way to protect their Bankais from being stolen again, right? Because I feel like just getting your Bankai back is stupid if you go to use it again and it gets sucked up once again. So, anyway, good stuff. I had fun with this episode. Ended too soon. I want more. Like I said, I felt like the pacing was okay in this one. Like, hell, half the time with Bleach, I expect the whole invasion to be done. I expected halfway through this episode for Urahara to show up, get their Bankais back, they push them back, and they leave, and it's like, oh, invasion done. One episode, you know, but no, we spaced it out a bit. And we got a little bit of Ichigo at the end, walking through the heaviness of something. We saw it, like, expand out from his vision, so either that is, like, yes, you have to go even further to gain even more strength, or that's Ichigo being like, how far away is this, kind of thing, and it's just, like, his mind playing tricks on him, like, pretending it's farther away than it is. I don't know. Either way, definitely interesting training where it just seems like he's walking through, like, a pressurized area. It's just like he's getting used to this, like, heavy ass pressure, so then when he goes back to the real world, everything is, you know, it's kind of like when you carry something heavy for a while and then you let it go and your arms just feel light, you know. That might be the kind of thing that he's going to experience, and then maybe that's going to up his power or something. But really, all that works for me, because at this point, I mean, what else are we going to see? Him just, like, swinging his swords and getting stronger at swinging his swords, kind of thing. So, however they decide to train him, if this is the training, right, I'm fine with it. It's whatever. And at least it only took up a few seconds in the after credits, kind of thing. But I'm sure we're going to see a little bit more of it before it's complete anyway. So, I didn't really follow too much of what he was, what the paintbrush guy, in Squad Zero was saying with, like, reading that scroll and then that word he said at the end. I'm not sure what that means. Urezusando and stuff like that. But yeah, like, if one does not enter, there is no path. It's almost like it's like a test of will or something like that. Those who are about to perish. Okay, so it's like a feeling when you're about to die, kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, interesting stuff, guys. I think that's going to be it from me. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. Link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. You can see all kinds of other stuff on my Patreon. Check it out if you're interested. Early access for some of my other shows. Not for this one because I watch it as it releases. But there's also Patreon shows that aren't released to YouTube yet that you can find on there as well. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.